part of everything.
Yeah, rolling still.
As we already know, in Kashmir we can see there's a article 370 which has been revoked in Indian occupied Kashmir. Just for like context, we know there's two Kashmirs, one Kashmir in Pakistan, one Kashmir in India. The Kashmir that I'm talking about right now, though, Kashmir that I'm referencing is Jammu and Kashmir. So we know Kashmir is a disputed region where they're controlled by Pakistan and India formally, but they are administered by Pakistan and India. Therefore, they have some autonomy. However, India recently, through the BJP party, they have revoked 370 article. What is this article? This article gives the Kashmiri people the right to have their own constitution, their own prime minister, own president, and many different legislations except finance and currency, which will be controlled by the Indian government. And because this legislation has been removed by the Indian government, the Kashmiri people's freedom and their rights have been stripped away from the Indian constitution. This is an unconstitutional act which goes against every single international humanitarian legislation. And even the United Nations acknowledges what the Indian people have been doing is unconstitutional. We can see Kashmir people have been oppressed for decades. The reason why is because Kashmir is a disputed region. However, at that time when the partition happened, that region wanted to be a part of the Muslim country. Reasonably why? So just for context, because I need to explain the origins of Kashmir in order for you to understand why this insurgency in Kashmir is happening right now. The reason is because in 1947 we can see the partition. How did the partition happen? What was the criteria? What was the premise of the partition? The premise of the partition was the Muslim majority states will be joining the new formerly country, Islamic Republic of Pakistan, and the Hindu majority states, they will be joining Republic of India. And we can see Kashmir was a Muslim majority state. However, it was a Hindu ruler, Maharaja Hari Singh, he was a Hindu ruler. He wanted independence. Of course, the Muslim local population in Kashmir, what did they want? Of course, they wanted to join the new new Muslim country. Reasonably why? Why would a Muslim population want to be part of a country where the leader is Hindu? It makes logical sense why the Kashmiri people had a rebellion. The Kashmiri people already gave the answer of what they wanted. So, to be honest, of course, referendum is the only solution right now, but the Kashmiri people have also already given the answer in 1947 that they want to be part of Pakistan. And we can see the rebellion and then the Pashtun forces that came to Kashmir, and also the Gilgit scouts that came to Kashmir in order to fight for the freedom of the Kashmiri people. So we can see after that the United Nations have given the resolution and gave them a couple of legislation. For example, a Pakistani or Indian cannot buy land in Kashmir. However, in Pakistan, a Kashmiri can buy land in Pakistan. So we can see that they had their own rights and their own constitution, which Pakistan and India formally agreed upon. However, India has broken this treaty. They have broken the trust of the Kashmiris. They have revoked this article which has given them autonomy. This autonomy makes the Indian people have their own rights, and right now they are getting liberated by the Indian occupational forces. People compare this regime, which the Modi government has, as a similar ideology, just like the Nazi ideology, where they thought they were more superior than them, and they wanted to control everyone on the basis of that they're Aryans, etc. This is the same with Indian. They want this ideology called Akhand Bharat. What is Akhand Bharat? They want an undivided, unified India, which they claim it was back in the days, even though before 1947 there was no concept of India and Pakistan as a country. We know those nations were divided into different princely states, and we can see Pakistan and India were both ruled by distinct empires for the majority of history, except the Mauryans, Mughals and British, which cover the minority of the history. And because of this, we can see right now in the Kashmiri people, they have no access to internet. They are in a curfew. They couldn't even pray this Jummah Salah. They're not able to leave their houses. Their women and children are getting oppressed. Recently, there's a Kashmiri activist. I don't have her name at the moment, but I will be displaying her name in the comments. There's a village in Jammu Kashmir. The 4 individuals were tortured, and the microphone was right on their mouth in order for the whole village to hear the interrogation that they're facing, just for protesting and breaking the fake curfew that they have in India, in Jammu Kashmir. And because of this is installing fear in the people's heart in Kashmir. But the Kashmiri people do not fear death. They will fight for their freedom, just like the Palestinians are fighting for their freedom in Israel. The Kashmiri people are fighting their freedom from India, because the Kashmiri people are getting oppressed by a regime which is similarly compared to Israel. The way they are, coming illegal settlements in Palestine. This is the exact same thing what the Kashmiri people are facing from the Indian government. This trick in order to remove this constitution was, so now Indians are allowed to buy land in Jammu and Kashmir. They want to replace the Muslim population in order to make it a Hindu population, in order for them to control Jammu and Kashmir. Because we know Jammu and Kashmir was about to be favored by Pakistan. Why? Because of course the rebellion, the militants, which people call terrorists, which I do not call them a terrorist at all. They were freedom fighters. They were just defending the women and children. For example, Burhan Wani, one of the most famous militants that is like recognized by India and Pakistan. Indian people call him a terrorist. I call him a freedom fighter. Why? When he was a child, when he was born in Jammu Kashmir, right, in a village called Tral, he was there, and of course when he was his upbringing, he was abused by a Indian military soldier. Why? Just because he was chanting slogans for freedom of Kashmir. Then his brother got killed for no reason. His brother got killed, Khalid Wani, I think. He got killed for no reason. Of course, that led him, and his women have been abused and raped. As we already know, Kashmiri women are amongst the worst sufferers of sexual violence, according to Doctors Without Borders, which is an international humanitarian medical organization. They say that the Kashmiri women are the worst sufferers of sexual violence. So of course, they're going to rebel. They're going to... I believe in the peaceful resolution 100%, but I'm not going to blame those people that pick up arms and fight the Indian military soldiers. They're not killing innocent people, by the way. They are fighting Indian military because they have, are oppressing the regime of Kashmir. They have been oppressed for so long, decades. Thousands of people have been getting killed. Thousands of people are getting raped. It's ridiculous that no one's been doing anything about it except recently. Alhamdulillah, all the Muslims and even the non-Muslims as well that stand for justice, they're coming together, uniting as humans should do in a cause to defend the Kashmiri people. We can see this oppression has happened for so long, and recently it's been, awareness has been on it. Like mashallah, the brothers that went to the Indian embassy in London and they're protesting, whilst the Indian people, they were celebrating the Independence Day, and they were celebrating when the article got revoked. Why would you celebrate that? Are you celebrating the oppression that the Kashmiri people are facing? Are you celebrating the curfew and the way the family that live in Kashmir, they're not able to be contacted from other members that live outside Jammu Kashmir? They're not being able to contact. Are you celebrating that? Are you celebrating the oppression that the Kashmiri people are facing? It makes no sense to me. Some Indians, I really respect them because in Independence Day, they were remembering Kashmir. They were remembering, there's a famous activist, I'm not too sure what his name is, but he was a celebrity, a public figure, and he was he made that day in solidarity for the Kashmiri people because they know their land has been oppressed. And I will always use this example. Exactly what the Israeli people have done with the Palestinians, and they've invaded their land, and they've ridiculed them, and all the human rights and abuses and violations. This is the same thing what the Indian people have done, and this is according to all human rights activists. Now I'm surprised people deny this oppression. People have been denying there's been protests going on. Indian media is one of the worst media I've ever seen in my life. I'll be honest with you. Cool. Even Pakistani media, sometimes they lie, they have their own biased agenda, but to be honest, recently we can see the Indian media have been very biased. They've been lying, and they've been caught lying so many times. We can see in the Indian media that apparently there was no protest in Srinagar, in the capital of Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir. But there was protests. We can see different human rights activists, they done live videos and coverages of Kashmir. They made many lies and saying there's no curfew, and they made a propaganda video. One of the ministers of India, BJP, they came to Jammu Kashmir and they were speaking to the local population saying, oh, how are you doing, is everything fine? And they're just making a propaganda video to promote a false agenda, which they're doing, and many people unfortunately believe this. You have to be very ignorant to believe that the Kashmiri people are living in peace. We all know the oppression is going on. So look, we want a referendum. We've been asking this referendum for decades, but the referendums never happened. What's wrong with the democratic referendum of what the Kashmiri people want? If the Kashmiri people want referendum, why can't you give it to them? We know so many people are getting killed and raped. So in order to stop and defuse this escalation, why don't we just go and let the Kashmiri people have the referendum? It's going to solve all the problems, and I've been advocating this for a very long time. And many other human rights activists have been, want this to come in place, inshallah. That's what we're hoping for, because we can see the 1990, the Armed Force Act, which India has done, the 1990 Armed Force Act, which basically gives the Indian military immune to the legislation which the military, which normal Indian citizens are abiding by. They have their own legislation that for them, killing Kashmiri people is justified. Simply because of this 1990 Armed Force Act, which is an unconstitutional, oppressive act. I can't believe it. They call India the world's largest democracy. How is this democracy if you're killing your people in Kashmir? And whenever I talk about the Kashmiri issue, please do not refer to Balochistan. Please do not refer to apparent Pashtunistan. It makes no sense. We have to deal with one issue, then we can talk about another. We have to, spread awareness about this situation. And I respect a lot of brothers on Instagram have been putting their display picture as red in solidarity for the Kashmiri people, because we know this suffering has been going on for so long, and they just want to have a peaceful life. And we all want them to live in peace. They are brothers and sisters. They are Muslim brothers and sisters. You don't even have to be Muslim to stand up for this cause. You just have to be a human. Just like many people are united under the Palestinian situation, we all need to spread awareness about Kashmir as well, because that has been going on for so long and decades, and only recently the awareness has been done. So we need more protests. I mean, Imran Khan has been doing a very good job when it comes to Kashmir. He's been asking for dialogue with the Indian government. He's been asking for the United Nations to get involved. He's been asking many foreign countries to get involved, for example, Saudi and UAE. But unfortunately, one of the Arab countries has backstabbed Pakistan because they've invested billions of dollars into India. I have no idea why. I can't believe our Muslim brothers have been betraying us like this. Even though your Muslim brothers and sisters are getting killed in Kashmir, you're going to be supporting the oppressor, Modi. BJP, RSS, they have a very disgusting ideology, and they use Hinduism to, not, of course, real Hindus, they disagree with this 100%. I'm not blaming the religion, but they have a very radical Hinduism. That's the terminology that I would use. They use radical terminology to justify the action of Kashmir, because they believe in this very disgusting, ridiculous ideology of Akhand Bharat. Akhand Bharat, of course, like I already explained, an undivided India. So they're not going to let Kashmir to have their own country. They want to conquer all the way from Indonesia to all the way to Afghanistan. This is their ideology of Akhand Bharat. Of course, it's very impractical and has no historical basis as well, because India, as we already know, it was divided into princely states. There's no such thing as one India. And even the real India, which historians refer to, they don't refer to India, they refer to Pakistan. The Indus Valley. Where does this terminology come from? Modern day Pakistan. Where is the Indus River? In Pakistan. It's not in India. The Indian people had their own civilization in the Gangetic civilization, the river Ganges. This is why I made my video of how Kashmir, Pakistanis and Indians are distinct. That's what I'm trying to say to you. The Kashmir people, they have nothing to do with the Indian culture, the language, the traditions, the religion. They all want to be part of Pakistan. Cool. There's some people that advocate an independent country. We're for that. If the Kashmiri people want their own country, that's fine. But the people that I've spoken to, I've even spoken to people that live in Srinagar, in the Jammu Kashmir region, and they told me they want to be part of Pakistan. It's quite split, to be honest. But that's not the point here. The point is that we want them to live in peace. We want the Indian people, Indian government to, take responsibility of the actions that they've been doing in India. The responsibilities that have been, the oppression that they've been doing, they need to be, accounted for. Not one Indian military or personnel has been persecuted for the crimes that they've been doing in Kashmir, not even one after the 1990 Armed Forces Act. Where is the justice? Where is the world's largest democracy coming in place? Do you call this the world's largest democracy? I call this the world's largest hypocrisy. This is what I call it. This is what it is. It's double standards, it's hypocrisy, and they're doing unconstitutional acts. Only if India was not an influential power, I'm sure many other countries would get involved and do something about this. This article has basically stripped the fundamental rights of the Kashmiri people. The fundamental rights, the only autonomy that they have. And the thing is, some people, when I talk about India occupied Kashmir, some people will be talking about Azad Kashmir, or why don't you sort Azad Kashmir? Bro, what's happening in Azad Kashmir? The people are living in peace. I just came back from Azad Kashmir. Everything is happy there, everyone's happy there, they're happy with Pakistan, and there's no problems except in the line of control, where the Indian army is violating ceasefires and they're violating all international legislation by shooting in the line of control. I'm not trying to be biased. Even though I'm a Pakistani myself, I'm not trying to be biased at all. If there's anything wrong which Pakistani does, I will admit it. I'm not a nationalist. But the thing is, we know in Kashmir, the Indian people are oppressing our brothers and sisters. And whilst they've been oppressed, whilst this article has been revoked, Indian people are celebrating the Independence Day and celebrating this victory that they call of the Akhand Bharat disgusting ideology. So we recommend, we ask all our Muslim brothers to do dua for our Kashmiri brothers and sisters, because this oppression we know has been going for so long. All the international human rights activists and organizations have all condemned this brutal acts which the Indian government has been doing, and all we can do is spread awareness. But I'm saying we need to start protesting and a common cause. It's not a Pakistani issue, it's not an Indian issue, it's a humanitarian issue. So as Muslims, firstly, we should be divided, obviously, and then humans, as in general, we need to help our fellow human beings that are being killed and oppressed. And please, I recommend one request for the Indian people: please stop being so patriotic to your country that you're going to deny the flaws in your country. Just because you love your country, no problem, you're entitled to love your country. But at the same time, please do not, when we're going to constructively criticize the country of the stuff that's going on, which is the truth, please don't get hurt about it. You have to accept it, and then we have to find a resolution. And this resolution has never taken place yet. So please, referendum is needed. We need the United Nations to make a referendum. Let Kashmir decide. Join India, Pakistan, or have your own country. Let them decide. Please, that's all we request. And after this, the Kashmiri people can live in peace. Burhan Wani, many other Kashmiri Mujahideen have sacrificed their lives in order to defend the honor, women and children from the Indian military, from all the rapes and killings and the local mobs. We already know the same thing happened to the Sikhs in 1984 in the genocide. And our respect to all my Sikh brothers that have been, uniting with the Kashmiri activists in order to, because they have suffered the same, and they don't want the Kashmiri people to suffer the same thing that happened to them in 1984. So respect to the Kashmiri Sikh individuals that have been helping and protecting the Kashmiri women. We've got a lot of respect for the Sikhs because they know what happened and they experienced this already. So you know what, just everyone please do dua for the Kashmiri people and pray for the brothers in Yemen, in Palestine, even in China, in the concentration camps. That needs to be spreaded as well. Even though Pakistan is not spreading much awareness about China because of course, you know, it's a very influential power and they can't really do anything about it, but there are concentration camps there and we need to spread awareness, and in order for the China to stop doing this type of stuff because it's disgusting, and just like the German concentration camps. But anyways, big up to COE for giving me the platform to raise awareness about Kashmir, and thank you very much.
Come take over everything from your melanin. Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
That's your belief. And that's whether you like it or not. That's Islam. I can't help you. No, you're not meant to help me. I can't help you. You're not meant to help me. But all I can tell you is, but you're not telling me nothing. The messenger of God. No, that's your belief. Whether you like it or not. And you're whatever you like it, that is God Almighty. And He's sovereign.